£3 million in add-ons for Andreas Pereira. So the money we spent on Tyrell Malaysia, we've got back from selling Andreas Pereira. Pereira to Fulham, done deal, which is brilliant because, well, it's brilliant in one way because, you get 30 million for Pereira and you just put that money straight to Malaysia. But then when you really deep it, Man United are going on pre-season tour on Friday and our net spend will be £2 million. Bringing in ERIKSEN and Malaysia will be 11 million in dividends and a £2 million net spend. So we're looking at 11 million pound net spend so far this summer, and sorry, not 11, a £13 million net spend this summer, and 11 of it's on dividends. So, you can see it that way as well. But first of all, make sure you smash that like button. Second of all, make sure you subscribe down below if you're new. And of course, share the video as well. I'm lagging a little bit. Is the stream doing all right? Because I'm lagging a little bit and I'm not 100% sure what is going on. So let me just... What is going on here? Is it laggy? Is the stream laggy? Because on my screen, I think there's a bit of stream delay. So I do apologise if there's a little bit of stream delay in the chat, guys. For some reason, I'm getting stream lag. So the chat is like a solid minute behind me. So I do apologise. The bid was rejected, as Gum said. And evening, Alice, I hope you're doing well, says Gaz. Big up, Gaz, and big up everybody in the chat. There's not lag on the stream, but there's a chat delay of 1 minute for some reason as well. But yes, it's been reported in that the bid has been rejected. But let's get into the news. So Andreas Pereira to Fulham. Here we go. Full agreement in place on the player side. He will sign a 3-year deal with an option for a further year. And Man United are going to receive £10 million guaranteed plus £3 million in add-ons from Fulham. So £13 million. Here we go. Pereira, done deal. Okay, it's also been said by Romano that Cristiano Ronaldo is a massive fan of Erik Ten Hag's work, and for him, Ten Hag is not a problem. The real problem is the project signings and the many steps of Man United. Piers Morgan's come out and said that Ronaldo's fed up and sick and tired of the culture at Manchester United. He's sick and tired with players' lack of dedication, enthusiasm to win, and attitude in training. And the reason Ronaldo wants out of Manchester United is because of their player attitudes. He's fed up with them not trying, not caring, but also the board's approach to it and the board's lack of enthusiasm to sign players. Now, I'm going to say this now. Look, if Ronaldo's dodging training and Ronaldo's refusing to show up to training, that is very unprofessional from a player like Ronaldo. But we have been told there's genuine family issues, and I'm going to choose to believe that and not the negative side. I think Manchester United are trying to spin this Ronaldo story to make it as negative as possible, and, I don't particularly like that from Manchester United. But also, if Ronaldo wanted to leave because we didn't get top 4, he would have expressed that in April, because in April he knew he was going to get a wage cut, and in April he knew we weren't going to get top 4. But in April he knew Ten Hag was coming in that he liked. We'd got rid of Judge, we'd got rid of Woodward. There was talks of Paul Mitchell and Ragnick taking over, and Man United doing what Liverpool did and doing an efficient rebuild. And we've got to July, we've got to pre-season tour, and we've had a net spend of £2 million plus 11 million in dividends. Okay, we've signed Malacia and Eriksen. Martinez isn't a done deal yet. Antony's just a £51 million bid that's been rejected. And De Jong, well, what the... I don't even fucking know what's happening with De Jong. I'll tell you what I know, and I'll tell you what Romano and Ornstein and Laurie Whitwell have said, and I'll tell you what the reliable journalists have said about De Jong. But I actually think Man United probably don't have a clue what's going on with De Jong. Honestly, if you hate the transfer window, then Man United is the club for you, because they will make you hate it even more. Manchester United suck the fun out of every single transfer window. It is not exciting. It's not. It's just pain. United give us pain all throughout the season. 5-0 Liverpool, 4-1 City, 4-1 Watford, 4-2 Brighton, 4-0 Brighton, 4-2 Leicester, 4-0 Brighton, 4-0 Liverpool the second time. The amount of fours we got, I tell you that now. We can't make 4 signings, but we can concede 4 goals. That's our club. And I tell you what, 4 starts with F, and our captain's name starts with F. Fool. Harry Maguire is a fool. We will be talking about him liking anti-Ronaldo posts. And F also for Frankie de Jong, who's got Man United like fools. Because what are we doing? I don't know what we're doing. It is pain, pain, pain. Man United give us pain all season. They give us pain all transfer window. Pain FC. And as Andrew said, Antony will be another saga, well short of the valuation with weeks of negotiations. Antony, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen in August. Antony will not come to Man United in July. It will happen in August. It will happen after the season starts. I can tell you that confidently Antony will come after the season starts as well. De Jong is coming to United, says Nick. I believe Frankie de Jong is coming to United, and I will tell you why. And as Picky said, a very good point here, Barcelona must get Bernardo Silva before they sell de Jong to United. They need de Jong to go so they can get Bernardo Silva. There are reports of Sterling to Chelsea, which I think is a really, really good move as well. But who would be a Frankie de Jong alternative to me? Would it be Neves, Milinkovic-Savic? I'd go for Fabio Ruiz if we don't get Frankie de Jong. That would be my alternative. But it's hard because there's not really many alternatives out there for Frankie de Jong as well. Barca want to and have to sell de Jong. This is a fact, guys. Stop listening to the bullshit talker, man. I do agree. You make a solid point. You know, that Barcelona have to sell Frankie de Jong. They absolutely have to sell Frankie de Jong. And they can say he's going to stay, but they did that with Messi, and Messi left. But Messi didn't end up leaving till August, and maybe Frankie de Jong's going to drag on to August, which will be the longest and most killing saga of all time. And as Nick says, a really good point. United and Barcelona are still in talks over Frankie de Jong. If it was over, it'd be confirmed that the deal is dead. And you make a very solid point there as well. And Maguire has a false number 5. Let's talk about the freaking Maguire saga. I'm going to get into the Antony news. I'm going to get into all the other news. But let's talk about it. So, an Instagram post liked by Harry Maguire about Cristiano Ronaldo was an error and been removed by the BBC. It was reported that Harry Maguire liked an Instagram post about Ronaldo being unhappy with a 25% pay cut. That like has now been removed and it's an error. It wasn't a fucking error. If you like an Instagram post, you like an Instagram post. If I accidentally like an Instagram post, I notice it and I unlike it. It wasn't an error. Man United players got the day off today, and one dickhead named Harry Captain Maguire goes on Instagram and likes a post slagging off Ronaldo. What the fuck was he expecting? He cannot blame his media team. He cannot do all of that. He liked that picture. What was he expecting? Was he expecting all the fans to get behind him for liking that picture and all the fans to be like, yeah, big up Harry Maguire. He doesn't care that we didn't get top 4. He doesn't care that he has to take a salary cut. I mean, it's a picture that I wouldn't like as a United fan. It's an anti-United post. I mean, it's an anti-Ronaldo post. It's a post slandering Ronaldo, but it's also a post reminding us that the Man United players failed to get top 4 and have to take a wage cut. What is to like about that post? What is to be proud of that I'm going to like? That I am one of the people responsible and I am captain of the club that was meant to be in a title challenge that didn't even get top 4, that had their worst season ever, and now we will have to take a wage cut. And I am the player that makes the GOAT, Cristiano Ronaldo, want to leave. So I'm going to like that post. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. What? Why? Like, there was no common sense. Not that Harry Maguire I ever thinks had common sense, but there was no common sense in Maguire liking that post. And I saw someone say on Twitter today, Harry Maguire is a bigger problem for Man United than Cristiano Ronaldo, and they're absolutely spot on. Yes, Ronaldo's 37. Yes, Ronaldo doesn't fit the system. And yes, Ronaldo coming in did disrupt the dressing room. But if Harry Maguire wasn't so big egoed over Ronaldo stealing the captaincy presence in the dressing room, then there wouldn't have been a beef. If Harry Maguire was like, he's Ronaldo at the end of the day, he can take control of the dressing room even though I'm captain, there wouldn't be that issue. But Harry Maguire didn't like that the players wanted Ronaldo captain. Harry Maguire didn't like that Ronaldo was being the leader on and off the pitch and not him. And he just decided to have a strop. I mean, the amount of clips of Harry Maguire getting angry when Ronaldo scores. I don't like to buy into these things. I don't like to assume that Maguire's anti-Ronaldo and all of that. But there's been reports of beef between Maguire and Ronaldo. Simon Stone confirmed that there was an issue between Ronaldo and Maguire over captaincy, which caused a divide in the dressing room. But also, there's multiple clips of Ronaldo celebrating scoring a goal, and fucking Harry Maguire just is like the only player not going to celebrate with him, or Harry Maguire's the only player not smiling when Ronaldo scores a winner for Man United. I'm thinking, your team's just won, but you're miserable that Ronaldo scored the winner. If you are captain of Man United and you are not celebrating us scoring a winner because Ronaldo's fucking scored the winner, then that is just the most pathetic thing ever. And, look, it could be a genuine mistake by Maguire, and him and Ronaldo could be friends, but from the way he's acted, from what we've heard, from what we've seen on the pitch, he don't play for Ronaldo. Maguire don't want Ronaldo back. Maguire wants to stay captain. Maguire wants to stay the powerful influence in the dressing room, and Ronaldo cramps Maguire's style, and Maguire don't like that. So we get this salty little beef between United players, petty. Let's go on social media on my day off and cause a little dressing room issue. brilliant. Ten Hag's come in and it's a fresh start for every single player at the club. It's meant to be this fresh start. And antiques on social media. We got a leak come out last week. We've had PR spins calling Ronaldo this, and this. And now we've had a silly, not even a silly player, the fucking captain of this club liking a post slandering the best player of this club. If there's beef between the biggest player and the captain at this club, that influences the whole dressing room. You know, I don't care that it's not that deep in all of that. You shouldn't be liking a post like that when you know that social media was massive last season. Social media was a big distraction for a lot of the players. And Ten Hag wants to just do a winning mentality. The last 3-4 years at Man United, the mentality has been PR and social media. Let's have social media followers. Let's have a good PR team. That's what you've got to be at Manchester United. And that has been the mentality at Man United. And I am fed up of it. Absolutely fed up. How dare Ten Hag give you the day off and you think I'm going to like a post slandering Ronaldo? It's stupid. Look, Ronaldo could be pulling a fast one and refusing to go to training, which is an absolute disgrace. But these players have brains. You don't like a picture like that on social media, especially when it's Maguire, who's under a lot of stick himself. But Maguire's reportedly to be the player that had a dressing room divide with Ronaldo. You know, if it's someone like Alex fucking Telles, I don't think people would care as much because he's leaving. He's irrelevant. And as far as we know, he gets on with Ronaldo. But this just backs up the reports that Maguire doesn't get on with Ronaldo. And it's one of those situations. And I just look at it and I seriously think, what was going on in his head? There can only be one captain at United now, with Ronaldo looking out and Maguire being an idiot. De Gea is the only one. And I'm not a fan of giving captaincy to a goalie, but fucking hell, you're spot on. And nothing surprising me with Maguire. He's a very divisive figure. He doesn't even stand up for his teammates on the pitch. And you're right there, Andrew. Maguire, the so-called captain of Man United, we see a play. I remember when Martial got the most outrageous red card against Lamela. That twat. Lanella still bugs me to this day. Literally pushed Martial, he pushes him back, and somehow Martial gets sent off, and VAR look at it. And Maguire just stands there and goes, oh, well, VAR and the ref must be right, Rashford. Rashford's there fighting for Martial, being like, oh, fuck off, ref. And Maguire's like, Rashford, don't talk to a ref like that. Calm down, Rashford. What are you on about, Maguire? Martial didn't do anything. He got absolutely mugged off. And then he went and conceded 6 goals to Tottenham, and I thought, oh, my God. Maguire clearly lacks intelligence. I mean, honestly, I don't know what would be going through Maguire's head to think I'm going to go and like that picture. Overpaid Eustace Marks. The leaks are a joke. You're absolutely spot on. And as Daniel says on a different note, smash your like, smash your subscribe, and of course, share the video. Always helps out. We're going for 300 likes as well. Let me take a sip of water. People saying De Jong ain't coming, keep dreaming. De Jong is coming, and I will tell you why De Jong is coming in just a second. And Ronaldo not going nowhere. Well, Ronaldo is reportedly not going to Bayern Munich as well. So let's get into that as well. But fuck me. Harry Maguire, I'm telling this now. I'm going to tell you why Ronaldo's likely to stay in a second. And I'm going to tell you the beef between Ronaldo and Maguire and what's been reported by Piers Morgan in a second. But Harry Maguire's captain of United. And I think this is Ten Hag's first week. This is his first week with Ten Hag. This is his first day off Ten Hag's given him. And he's gone on social media and he's liked a little post like that. And maybe it was an error. Maybe it's an accident. But that's just a stupid thing to do. And he deserved to be stripped of captaincy last season because of form. And I tell you this now, strip Maguire of captaincy. Harry Maguire does not deserve to be captain of Manchester United. He doesn't deserve it on form. 2, even when he was playing well, I don't think he has the leadership skills and mentality to be a captain. 3, when we do lose 4-0 and 4-1 and all of that, our captain goes and hides. He doesn't do the press conferences. He doesn't do the match reactions. De Gea does. Ronaldo does. Bruno does. McTominay does. They're the 4 players every time we get battered that come and talk to the media. Not our captain. He goes and hides. Our captain made so many mistakes when we got battered 4-0 versus Liverpool, runs in the tunnel and hides. Whereas when we get battered 4-0, other players are speaking to some of the players that were worse on the pitch, being like, that wasn't good enough. He just runs and hides in the dressing room. He's not a captain. He's not captain material. And liking that about fucking Ronaldo of all players at our club is silly. I mean, literally, Ten Hag's come in, and Ten Hag's priority is to sort out that dressing room divide and also to get the players less focused on social media and more focused on the pitch. And he gives them a day off. He thinks, you know what? and one dickhead's gone on Instagram, liked a picture, and of course it's caused a feud. It's not a feud in the dressing room, but it's caused a social media debacle. It's caused negative attention. That's going to go around the dressing room. Other Man United players are going to see that on social media, and the divide between Ronaldo and Maguire continues. And if Ronaldo does stay at United, which I hope he does, you know, if there's a divide between him and Maguire, again, we're going to have another season of the players not playing for each other, players not liking each other. And at the end of the day, you can have the 11 best players in the world. You can have 11 best players, you know, one in each position on the pitch. But if they don't want to play for each other, if they don't like each other, then they play shit. Look at England. Gerrard, Lampard, Scholes, Terry, Rio, fucking Carragher, Neville. I know they're not those kind of names. Beckham, Rooney. I mean, even Carrick couldn't get in that fucking team, and Carrick would walk in this team now. Look at all those England stars are named. What did that England team win? Fuck all. What did they do? Got knocked out the freaking group stage. I mean, honestly, they've been like them in the World Cup. It's like Man United and Champions League the last few years. Dreadful. Because they had brilliant players, England, but because none of them wanted to play together, because none of them got along, and it was full of egos, and you know, all of them wanted to be the main man. They couldn't gel as a team. They couldn't have chemistry. And that England team, you know, 2008. Fucking dreadful. And it reminds me of this Man United team, because this time a year ago we'd signed Varane, Sancho, Ronaldo. We had a team full of stars. It was looking brilliant, you know, a team full of stars. But none of them wanted to play together? None of them want to play for each other. The captain and the best player in the world and the biggest player are having this kind of beef. You know, if you look at the England squad that got to the final and got to the semi-final, yeah, and Southgate's the fucking manager as well. You know, worst manager, worst side, better success, because at least the players play together, at least the players get on, at least the players are friends. And you know, people don't understand this, but squad morale, squad chemistry is so much more important than people think. And these Man United players all love each other and get along and like a family and would run their hearts out for each other. I guarantee you we would have finished in the top 4 last season. I guarantee you that. But the problem was players weren't listening, players weren't trying, players were faking injuries, players didn't show up to training, and there was a massive divide. And I always say to you, that team was full of stars, but it was full of egos. It was full of lots of players wanting to be the main man, lots of selfishness, lots of people playing for themselves. And when that happens, you underachieve. Just like England had in the World Cup and Euros prior to that. It's just embarrassing, absolutely embarrassing. Glory, glory, Man United. Smash your like if you're glory, glory, Man United and a Manchester United fan as well. I don't like the body language of Rashford and Maguire in training. Look, I am going to say this. I know I've just gone and slated Maguire for pretty much 80 minutes and all of that, but I will say it is a fresh start for every single player next season. And Maguire is already making a good start to that fucking fresh start, because he's like, liking silly pictures on Instagram. Stupidity. But it is a fresh start for every single Man United player next season. Despite the form of next year, we judge them on this season. We judge them on how they play this season, not how they play last season. If Rashford comes out and he's brilliant, brilliant. If Maguire comes out, he's brilliant, brilliant. It's a fresh start for every player. But I tell you this now, it's a joke. It's a joke. Harry Maguire should not be captain. Erik ten Hag cannot allow Maguire to stay as captain. As Andrew says, he has to be proved over and over and come off the pitch. He is not up to it. You're absolutely spot on. You know, if Maguire's got a fresh start, but he's got to prove himself, he's got to be dropped if he doesn't perform, and he cannot be captain and breathe. Yeah. I see a really good comment here. And the English media protects English players through overrating them and ending up with duping the club through overpricing them. Now in the situation, who's Maguire to question Ronaldo about anything we do? The funny thing is, the media is all coming out and protecting Maguire because he's getting a bit of backlash for that. But the media are more than happy to throw Cristiano Ronaldo onto the bus, but they won't do that to Maguire. And I ain't going to lie, Maguire gets fucking booed, and he shouldn't have got booed for England, but how soft are we doing all these posts and Spurs posting about how bad it is to boo Maguire and all of that? Pogba gets booed all the fucking time. No one seems to give a shit that Paul Pogba gets booed, but when Harry Maguire gets booed, let all the clubs unite and let's do a poor old Harry Maguire getting booed thing. I mean, honestly, it's embarrassing. It is absolutely embarrassing. I tell you that now. It's just, you know, with this favouritism and this softness to England players, Man United are leaking all these negative news stories, calling Ronaldo greedy, saying Ronaldo doesn't love the club, and they don't care that they're throwing Ronaldo under the bus. But when Maguire fucks up, they're out within no seconds to go. It was an error. It's not Maguire's fault. Protection FC. I tell you what, Man United, when it comes to Maguire, Scott McTominay, Rashford, we're practically a condom for them. We protect them like that. When it comes to Ronaldo, we're a condom with a big hole and we're going, yeah, we're going to be no fucking use. There you go. Throw you under the bus. It's just like, I don't get what it is. It's like certain players at Man United, if they're a so-called favourite, they're going to get the protection of the media and the club. And at the end of the day, the club know that they spent 80 million on Maguire. And the club are like, yeah, spending 80 million on Maguire, fuck me, that is way too much. So they, like, you're thinking, okay, if we play Maguire every game and we give Maguire captaincy, surely it will look worth it. So they give Maguire captaincy, they play him every game and he's shite. And they go, and Rangnick said it, Rangnick exposed the board. Rangnick literally said, or allegedly said, according to Steve Bates, a very good journalist, something along the lines of he'd like to drop Maguire and get rid of Maguire, but because of the £80 million investment, United do not want to do that. Rangnick literally confirmed that Man United want to start Maguire every game because he cost £80 million. United do not want to lose face on the fact that Maguire was a flop. United gave Maguire stupid wages. They spent £80 million and thought he was going to be the next Van Dijk. And United know they're mugs. United know it looks like mugs, and they don't want to accept that. And because United don't want to be embarrassed at the fact that he wasn't worth £80 million, they literally tell the managers, and they did with Ollie and they did with Rangnick, and Rangnick exposed them. Maguire has to start every game because of his price tag. We just cannot drop him. We cannot get rid of him because he was such a significant price tag. And this is where Ronaldo has every right to be annoyed at United. And this is where Ronaldo would have every right to be wanting to leave Manchester United, to be annoyed at the club. Because let's be honest, if you're Cristiano Ronaldo and Harry Maguire's disrespecting you and you've got dressing room beef with Harry Maguire and all of that, and then you're realising that the club has to play Harry Maguire every game because he cost, £80 million, but you're getting dropped for fucking Bruno Fernandes in a Manchester derby, then you know what? You have every right to be annoyed. Look, at the end of the day, you should respect the manager's decision. If they drop you, if you play you should. But when Maguire is playing shit every single week and is still starting and is still captain, and Ronaldo scores a hat-trick, then they're like, now we're going to try Bruno the next game. You'd be pissed off if you're Ronaldo, because Ronaldo's been benched more times than Maguire last season. And anyone with eyes can tell me Ronaldo was better than Harry Maguire last season. I tell you this. And one of the most outraging points, and I know Eric Bailly was a leaker, and I know Eric Bailly was causing issues in the dressing room last season, but Harry Maguire was injured. Ollie played an injured Harry Maguire over Leicester instead of giving Bailly a chance. And we lost 4-2 in that Leicester game. And who was at fault for 3 of the 4 goals? Maguire. Who looked out of place? Maguire. And you have a fully fit Eric Bailly on the pitch. And you know what? When Eric Bailly sits there, realises an injured player's playing over him, who hasn't been good even when he was fit, is awful playing over him, Eric Bailly has every reason to be annoyed. But if you're Ronaldo and you realise that this guy's not getting dropped because of the board, no wonder Ronaldo's fed up with the board. He's thinking, well, look, Maguire's been crap. Maguire's causing issues in the dressing room between me. There's a divide between Ronaldo and Maguire, but they won't drop Maguire because he cost 80 million. The board say to Rangnick, and Rangnick exposed the board. They said, Maguire's such a significant investment, we cannot afford to sell him or drop him. We have to play him and hope it works out. That is why he's captain. That's why he plays week in, week out, because he cost 80 million. And any serious club would just go, you know what? We spent 80 million. It was complete shit. Let's get rid. Barcelona are in the most debt ever. Barcelona are a fucking crisis of a shit show club. But Barcelona are a more serious club than United. Barcelona spent over 100 million on Coutinho. They realised he weren't all that, even though he was good at Liverpool, and they shipped him off to Bayern. And actually, Bayern battered them 8-2 and Coutinho scored, and Barcelona looked like absolute mugs. But Coutinho didn't work out at Barcelona, so they weren't going to go, he cost so much money, let's play him week in, week out and hope he works out. They went, no, you know what? We'll look like mugs. We'll admit that Coutinho was a flop, but you know what? We can't play him week in, week out. Let's loan him off to Bayern. They flopped. Griezmann to Barcelona was another big flop. Ousmane Dembele to Barcelona, another massive flop. But they're doing their thing. They've got rid of Griezmann. They're trying to get rid of Dembele, although he was good last season. But you look at the money that Barcelona has spent. After a season and a half, they thought, you know what? Coutinho, we're going to get rid. But Man United go, well, we've invested so much in Maguire. We ain't going to get rid. It's going to make us look like mugs. Just look like mugs. Just admit the L on Maguire and go, you know what? What is better? The board looking better and trying to make Maguire out to not be a flop, or admitting that Maguire's a flop, dropping him and playing the players that deserve to play who's in form. Because by not dropping Maguire, again, Bailly got angry. There was an issue with Bailly. He's thinking, why am I not playing? Ronaldo can see that the board is telling Rangnick, because Maguire cost 80 million, you've got to play him even if he's crap. Ronaldo's seen this isn't a club where you fight for your space. This is a club where if you're favourites or you're a player that the board don't want to take an L on, you are basically fine. You're fine. You don't need to work for your players. And when you're literally gifted captain, gifted starting every week, and all of that. And I'm not saying that Maguire's that bad. When Maguire was in form, he was our best centre-back 2 seasons ago. But there's nothing to fight for. When you're Maguire, when you're McTominay, when you're Rashford and you're constantly underperforming, but you know you're going to start every game, it's fine. As soon as you put a bit of pressure on Luke Shaw, what Ollie did 2 seasons ago with Tellez, Luke Shaw started performing. Competition, pressure for places. You know, when players think they're safe, when players think they've made it, they go blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah. And it's like, no, they think they're safe. You know, if you say, if a 10 comes in and goes to Maguire, you're not captain, Martinez is coming in, Lindelof, Varane, I'm a big fan of, Bailly's got potential, and you say to Maguire, you're not going to start week in, week out, you've got to fight for your place, maybe Maguire would spend less time liking negative posts about Ronaldo on social media, would spend less time annoyed that Ronaldo wants to be captain and there's a divide between Ronaldo and Maguire captaincy, and more time on the bloody pitch. Because you know what? Ten Hag is the manager that can get the best out of Maguire. And Maguire is not that bad of a player, but he was god-awful last season. But you know what? He's causing issues because Ten Hag's come in and he's already done something twatty on social media. That's something that's going to be talked about in the dressing room. And if Ronaldo comes back, that's going to be a little bit of tension in there. And tension between Ronaldo and Maguire is massive. But not only that, you know, it just gives Ronaldo more and more reason. Piers Morgan has said the reason Ronaldo wants to leave Manchester United is because he's fed up with the culture. Again, the culture of, you know what, favouritism players, you know, so, you know, players not trying. Another reason Piers Morgan said that, you know, Ronaldo had reportedly said to Piers Morgan in conversations he's fed up with the lack of dedication from his teammates, the lack of enthusiasm, and the lack of desire to win from his teammates. And that's what Ronaldo reportedly said to Piers Morgan as well. Another reason why he wants to leave. And you just look at that and you just think, this club, absolutely this club, honestly, Ten Hag won't play him if he's crap. I do believe that if Maguire starts to underperform, then Ten Hag will drop him as well. I think Eric Bailly was right to tell Ollie that he's far better than Maguire. I mean, look, Eric Bailly was injury prone. I think we should sell Eric Bailly. But when Maguire was injured and Bailly was fit, Eric Bailly has every reason to be annoyed at Ollie. And no wonder pants are pulled down by Maguire. I don't blame Ronaldo for wanting to leave. The English media made the Premier League and it's destroying it. The board is simply crap. I tell you this now. It's absolutely embarrassing, the media protection that the English players get and then how we're willing to throw Rangnick and Ronaldo under the bus. Rangnick and Ronaldo come out and they basically expose United. They're annoyed at the board's lack of ambition. You know, Rangnick and Ronaldo want Man United to be the best side it can possibly be again. So they're saying you've got to do this, this and this. You've got to buy this, this and this. You've got to change this, this and this. And they call out United. They expose United and they embarrass United and United don't like it. So what do United do when this happens? United then go, oh, blah, 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 let's go and leak some reports that Ronaldo's a troublemaker, blah-de, blah-de, blah. That's what United do. They try and make Cristiano Ronaldo out as some big troublemaker. That's what United do. And then they try and make Rangnick out as a big problem. They're trying to say, oh, Ten Hag didn't want Rangnick. Ten Hag didn't want to work with Rangnick. No, the board got rid of Rangnick because Rangnick came out publicly and said they've done so many mistakes he couldn't believe it. They need to do this, this, and this to get better. The board completely exposed the board, completely exposed the Glazers, saying, you know, you've got to run like a football club, not a commercial business. And Rangnick also threw some of the players under the bus. And you know what? Maybe he shouldn't have thrown players under the bus. Maybe it made the dressing room issues worse. But you know what? Rangnick had every right to throw those players under the bus because we knew it. And Rangnick didn't have to tell us that some of them weren't listening or trying. And what happened to Rangnick? They got rid of Rangnick because he exposed the club. But Ronaldo's embarrassing the club because he's literally said, buy someone or I go. Show some ambition or I go. And that's embarrassing for United. So they're going to leak negative reports. They're literally, as soon as it comes out Ronaldo wants to leave, the next day the club is saying, yeah, Ronaldo was a flop. Man United realised that Ronaldo was not worth the money. They shouldn't have brought him back. Yeah, Ronaldo divided the dressing room. Yeah, Ronaldo made things worse. Yeah, Ronaldo's stint was a bad idea. Yeah, Ronaldo did this, Ronaldo did that. The players will feel better if Ronaldo leaves. It has come out that certain Man United players will feel like a weight is lifted off their shoulder if Ronaldo leaves. How pathetic is that? You'll think if Ronaldo leaves, you're going to play better. Maguire, you seriously think if Ronaldo leaves, you're going to play better because you'll now be the captain and the main man in the dressing room? You know, some players believe they'll be better if Ronaldo leaves. Man United saying that Ronaldo's the problem. Man United then saying the reason Ronaldo wants to leave is because he has to take a wage cut. No, it's not. We know from Fabrizio Romano, we know from people that have spoken to Ronaldo, Piers Morgan, every reliable source, the reason Ronaldo wants to leave is because he's fed up with his teammates. He's fed up with the attitude of his teammates. At Real Madrid, at Juventus, his teammates would have died for him. His teammates would have done anything to win something for him. But at Man United, they just didn't care. Some of them didn't even celebrate when he scored because they didn't like him, because he came in, he criticised them, and he told them how it was. And Ronaldo's fed up with his players, fed up with them not trying, but also fed up with the board not doing anything, not looking to change anything, and not buying anyone. Look at Arsenal's transfer window, look at Spurs' transfer window, Chelsea about to get Sterling, look at Liverpool and City's transfer window. They all finished above us. They're all having better transfer windows. What have we done? We've taken 11 million out in dividends, and we've had a £2 million net spend this transfer window, and we go on pre-season tour in less than 2 days. Ten Hag is going to go on pre-season tour with 1, maybe 2 players if Eriksen can get his medical registered. Ten Hag wanted all his business done by the beginning of July for pre-season tour. Instead, we've wasted all this time on Frenkie de Jong. We've missed out on Timber. We've missed out on Nunes. We've missed out on all these players. Now, MALACIA is a great signing. Eriksen's a great signing. But we need Martinez. We need de Jong. And we need Antony to at least complete a decent transfer window. And we're faffing about on all of it. And we're taking the fun out of every window. And if you're Ronaldo and you go, well, look, they've not brought anyone. I don't even know if they're going to get de Jong at this rate. Do you blame them for wanting to go because of lack of ambition? Absolutely not. There is no lack of ambition. There is a lack of ambition. There is no ambition. And honestly, Eriksen would be suitable for captain. He has a top mentality. You know what? I agree. You just don't know what he's going to be like at United. I honestly am at the point where I'd fucking give Varane captaincy. I'd probably give De Gea captaincy, even though I don't think he will survive under Ten Hag long term. Honestly, right now, who would you give Man United captaincy to right now? Because if Ronaldo leaves and it cannot be Maguire, who do you give it to? De Gea? Do you give it to Varane? Do you even give it to, do you know what I mean? There's not many leaders in that squad. It's De Gea, Varane, and Bruno outside Ronaldo and Maguire. And Bruno was crap last season. De Gea, I don't think will be in Ten Hag's plans long term. But also Varane's always injured. I generally think Lindelof. I'll generally be debating giving a captaincy to bloody Lindelof, and I don't know if he's even going to be a starter next season, but I think Ten Hag will like Lindelof. I tell you this well, I know Ten Hag's going to like Lindelof because he's a good ball-playing centre-back and it will suit Ten Hag's system. I generally wouldn't be shocked if Lindelof got captaincy. I ain't going to lie to you, because there's a lack of leaders in there. Look, you can say Scott McTominay, he's got a good attitude, but people know he's not good enough. De Jong, if he comes, ain't been here long enough. Eriksen, if he comes, ain't been here long enough. Varane, maybe, but he's always injured. Martinez, again, wouldn't have been here long enough. De Gea, maybe, but he's a goalie, and you just don't know what it's going to be like under Ten Hag. Ronaldo leaving, Maguire gone. There's a lot. I mean, even though Maguire shouldn't be captain, and we can all agree on that, we need to give captaincy to someone where it's going to go down well, a player that's going to have the respect of all their teammates. And it's like, well, for me, the only logic is if Ronaldo stays, you give him captaincy. And if it's not Ronaldo, I guess you give it to David De Gea. But it's, again, when you really think about it, there's a lack of leaders at United. And, Ten Hag has a reputation for changing the mentality of the dressing room. Daley Blind, Donny van der Beek, and even Utrecht players that worked with Ten Hag in the past said that when he came in, he instilled a winning mentality. He instilled a big attitude change in the dressing room. And he completely changed the mentality of the dressing room. And that's something that I really hope Ten Hag does. I hope Ten Hag comes in, and I hope Ten Hag completely transforms that dressing room, completely transforms the mentality of the Man United dressing room. Because I tell you what, it's absolutely awful in there. There's not a winning mentality. There's not players fighting for each other. And one of the reasons Ronaldo wants to leave is because last season, everyone was whining, everyone was moaning, everyone was bitching about each other, blaming each other for everybody else's problems. When we lost, they were blaming each other. Tom and I did a post-match interview and said, yeah, players aren't trying, players aren't taking responsibility, the dressing room is toxic. Players didn't like each other, players were blaming each other, players' egos were getting in the way. Players didn't like Rangnick and refused to listen to his instructions. Multiple times Rangnick would tell a player something to do and they would ignore it. When players weren't playing for the team, when players weren't listening to the manager, when players were playing for themselves, that's why we were shit last season. And that is why there was a lot of issues last season. And there's a lot of beef between players, and there was not a leader to control that. Harry Maguire's job of captain was to maintain some sort of control in that dressing room. And you cannot tell me there was any control in that dressing room last season. The leaks went out like mad. It was embarrassing. And yes, some of the leakers are gone, but let's be honest, some of them are still here. Some of the problem makers are still here. And we know that. But the dressing room was so out of control. And Ten Hag wants to come in and change that. Ten Hag wants to come in and control that dressing room, and completely change the mentality. But, one of the things he needs to do to help with that is get a leader that's respected by everybody. Because I feel like, at the end of the day, Harry Maguire was leader of Man United. Whether you like Maguire being leader or not, the players were disrespectful to the fact that Maguire was leader, because they saw how crap Maguire was. They saw that he wasn't leading on the pitch, and players turned on him. And at the end of the day, not only have you got to be a good leader, but you've got to be a good player. And that is where Maguire struggled. He didn't have that Roy Keane presence where all his players would die for him as a leader. You know, we need a player that's going to come in and earn the respect of all their teammates, that's going to be able to control, motivate all their teammates. You know, because Maguire had no control. He let the dressing room go mad. He let leaks go mad. And, you know, Ten Hag wants to control the dressing room. One of his number one priorities to control the dressing room, you know, get that better and all of that. But he's going to need help from the players. And I think, you know, if you have a captain like Maguire that no one wants to be captain, everyone's bitching about, even though they shouldn't, because let's say Ten Hag's made a captain and it's a fresh start, it's not a good start. He needs a captain where everyone's going to be like, he's captain. That's the decision. Let's not moan about it. Let's not complain about it. You know, he is captain. Let's respect our captain, whoever the next captain is, whether it's Maguire, whether it's Bruno, whether it's De Gea. But again, at the end of the day, I don't think Maguire can be captain, because last season he was probably the most embarrassing, shocking captain we've ever had at this club, because he just could not control that dressing room whatsoever. Someone said they give captaincy to Malacia. He's the only one not toxic yet. I tell you this now. Who were the most likeable players at Man United last season as well? Our captain has to be one of our best players. Our best players are consistent performers on top of being a leader. Not many to pick from outside of Ronaldo. Solid point there from Andrew. But let's be honest. Compare Roy Keane as a captain and compare Maguire as a captain, and you know it's just embarrassing. But what I say is, you know, let's look at really who should be captain. You're probably thinking De Gea, and I don't like goalies being captain, and I don't even think De Gea is the kind of player for Ten Hag ball. But what I do want to say is, look at the most likeable players at Manchester United. Look at, sort of go through our squad and think who are the most likeable. Sancho has only been here a year. Okay, Donny's been here basically a year because he spent another year on loan. Okay. Oh, I missed the super chat. Ronaldo exposing all these frauds, like Harry says. Nate, big up Nate for the super chat. You're absolutely spot on. Apologies that I missed that and was late to reading that. But who are the most likeable players? Okay, Ronaldo, he's been here a year. Sancho, he's been here a year. Varane, he's been here a year. Donny van der Beek's practically been here a year. Okay, and then you've got De Gea, because you know he's a servant, a fucking, you know, Sir Alex player. Basically, all the players I've named as the most likeable players are the players that haven't been here that long. You know, other than De Gea, all the likeable players at this club. Now, I think Fred's a likeable player as well. I'm going to be honest with you. But all the players that are likeable after last season, aka the players that tried and the players that were okay last season, are the players that haven't been here that long. And it's almost like the mentality at Man United is, you come here, you're good for a season, then you pick up the habits of the squad, and you become an egotistical arsehole. Because I tell you this now, you know, everyone at Man United is really likeable in the first or second season. Then you're like, no, F that. You know, Sancho, Varane and Ronaldo were the ones trying, the ones that weren't god awful last season, the ones listening to the manager's instructions. And I think maybe it's because they haven't been here long enough to learn the bad ways of their teammates. Do you know what I mean? I thought, you know, a lot of these players, you know, Cavani, only took Cavani a year to fake some injuries. You know, I mean, I just thought, what are you doing? Wan-Bissaka, really good in his first season at United, then just absolutely fell off. Rashford and Martial had 2 really good seasons under Ollie, then just completely fell off and became crap. Bruno was brilliant for 2 seasons, carried us for 2 seasons, then became crap. It's like this curse at United where you come here and you're really likeable in your first season, and your first season is your best season, and then you become crap. And maybe that's because, one, the lack of coaching at Man United, you know, Martial, Bruno, Rashford, you know, even Greenwood, that 19-20 season, they were all better. That's been their best season to date. You know, Wan-Bissaka's best season to date, Maguire's best season to date. The longer some of these players spend at United, the worse they get. And the worse they get, the worse the attitude gets, the worse the dressing room mentality gets. And it's like this toxic correlation between, you know, first season at Man United being all right, and then the second season you become really unlikable, and then you drop in form. It's like players are good for one season, and then they're crap. And maybe it's a lack of coaching. Players don't improve because the coaching we had under Ollie was god awful. I mean, one of the leaks that came out that was positive was that the players were very impressed by Ten Hag's training and already thought it was a level ahead of what they've been doing the last 3 years, which is brilliant. And maybe the reason there was a drop in form because of coaching and Ollie's lack of coaching, or maybe it's, you know, you come long and you stay at United long enough to pick up the habits of the club, to pick up the habits of the team, when you then start prioritising the social media and the fame and the money and the PR side of United over the footballing side. Because I tell you what, I think we have a lot of players that definitely show more interest in bloody brand deals than in football. And, you know, that is another absolutely embarrassing thing. Let me take some sip of water. We need players that will convince Ronaldo to stay. The worrying thing is, you know, when you've got Maguire liking a picture like that about Ronaldo, Ronaldo's going to think, well, I'm not wanted back. You know, look, I have no excuses for Ronaldo not returning to training. If it's generally family issues and that's why Ronaldo's not coming back, fair enough. I do know Ronaldo held talks with the hierarchy today, and if he's got family issues and he's not coming up, that is fair enough. But if Ronaldo's not returning to Man United training because of, you know, he doesn't wants to play for us, he wants to move, then that is disgraceful, and I will not defend Ronaldo on that. But when when you see players liking negative pictures about you online, you're going to think, well, they fucking don't want me back in training. The fact that as soon as Ronaldo says, I want to leave Man United, as soon as it comes out that Ronaldo wants to leave Man United, what comes out from The Athletic, the Man United board feel like it will be a weight lifted off a lot of players' shoulders if Ronaldo leaves. I believe if Ronaldo leaves, players will find form back again. So you're telling me, oh shit, Man United are basically saying, oh shit, so of a season, the reason behind Maguire's bad form, the reason behind Rashford's bad form, the reason behind Tellen's being shit, the reason behind every single player's awful form, despite Fred, De Gea and Ronaldo, is because of Ronaldo. So is this Man United saying that if Ronaldo leaves, Bruno, Maguire, McTominay, Rashford will all be at their best again if Ronaldo leaves? Are you telling me that? How do you know that? The board are literally releasing stories that the Man United players will improve if Ronaldo leaves because it will be a weight lifted off their shoulder. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, let's be honest, we'd have finished 10th if it weren't for Ronaldo last season. And maybe Ronaldo caused a little bit of an issue in terms of the balance of the team, you could say that. And, you know, maybe the idea of Martial, Rashford, Sancho front three is more exciting and more futuristic. But at the end of the day, Martial and Rashford have been crap for a year and a half. I like Martial and Rashford, and I believe there's still a top player in Martial and Rashford. And if Martial and Rashford find form and we lose Ronaldo, so be it. Because I tell you what, if Martial, Rashford and Sancho all find form next season under Erik ten Hag and all start firing, it will be an absolutely brilliant front three. Plus Antony to add to the mix, although we've just had a £51 million bid rejected for him. But it'd be absolutely amazing, okay? But to say that, you know, the reason behind Maguire and Bruno dropping form is because of Ronaldo's presence is embarrassing for the club to even say that, for the club to even think that, because if Bruno and Maguire are so far up their arse that them not being the main man and Ronaldo being the main man up top that they play for is going to disrupt how they play, and that, you know, Ronaldo being there changes how they play and their role in the team, that they're going to drop off so badly in form, then you don't need those kind of players at United. No, I don't think that Maguire will blame Ronaldo for his form because Ronaldo's a striker, Maguire's a centre back. But, you know, if I don't think Maguire's the type of person to be like, well, Ronaldo's more a leader than me, the players are listening to Ronaldo, not me, I'm going to play back. I don't think that's the case. And I don't think Bruno's angry that Ronaldo's here. I don't. And maybe Bruno will get better when Ronaldo leaves because he'll score more goals and he'll be on penalties. And maybe Maguire will get better when Ronaldo leaves and all of that. But at the end of the day, that's not an excuse for the players. You can't say Ronaldo coming in caused bad form, because at the end of the day, it's still, you know, maybe it did disrupt some players, but at the end of the day, the players shouldn't let a new player coming in and then not being the main man or us adapting the way we play disrupt their football. They've got to learn to adapt. They've got to learn to persevere. And again, I just don't think we had that at United last season. Again, it's just one of those things that I just think madness. This side's absolute madness. I mean, honestly, people saying, look, Maguire out and all of that. Obviously, Ronaldo exposing a lot of frauds. I'm sorry if I missed any super chats. My chat's really delayed. A lot of chats aren't coming up. So, honestly, I don't know. Alice, do I like Sancho? I love Sancho, and I really hope he can find his form. I absolutely love Jadon Sancho as well. 42 likes, 700 people watching. Smash the like button. 42 likes to go. Let's go for 400 likes, guys. So please do hit that like button if you have not already. I want to get into the De Jong news. I want to get into the Antony news. I do want to get some transfer news as well. I do apologise about all of that. Ronaldo's a sick family member. I think that is why Ronaldo's missing training, as you said as well. But honestly, he came back to save United, and in fact, you know, he couldn't save United because we're that catastrophic. And it's embarrassing if he comes back to save United and, you know, he leaves on this note. If Ronaldo leaves on this note because he's fed up of lack of ambition, it's absolutely embarrassing. Stam and Kino were another universe. I mean, going from them to Maguire as captain, is crazy. I hate the fact that I've generally been ranting about Maguire for 45 minutes and I've not really spoken about Antony or De Jong and all of that. So I will, the mentality and rot stats at the top with the owners, but the players can't use that as an excuse for pissing about. Exactly. Alice, I love your passion for the club. I may not agree with you all the time, but you're the best. Thanks. Yeah, obviously this is just my opinion. I'm not always right in my opinion. I say what I think, but you know, everyone can disagree with my opinion. Nothing I say is right because football's all opinion based. There's no wrong or right answers. I mean, if you're going to say who's a better centre back, Van Dijk or Maguire, obviously Van Dijk's a better centre back. But in terms of opinion, there's no right or wrong answers. I think in football, everyone's allowed their own opinion. I mean, there are right or wrong answers, but you know what I mean. Open discussion. I mean, Maguire might be a better centre-back for other teams, just not Man United. But I want to get into some De Jong news. I want to update you guys with what's going on with De Jong. I do also want to talk about Antony to Manchester United as well. But first of all, please do hit that like button if you haven't already. Let's go for 400 likes. And of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. If you're new and you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates and more, click that subscribe button because I go live every single evening on the channel, keeping you guys up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, updates, transfer stories and more. So do subscribe to stay tuned for that. I will be doing watch alongs to the pre-season games. I will be doing transfer news and all of that. We've got some De Jong stuff to get into. United home kit is obviously released on Friday and all of that. We've also got some Martinez news. We've also got some more updates as well. So here is the interesting news. Here is some of the news that I want to get into, and then I will address the live chat as well. So Antony, what is the situation from Antony? So it's come out from Goal via BR that Antony and his staff want the negotiations with Manchester United to have a positive outcome, and the player is dreaming of playing for Man United, but is aware the business is difficult. So obviously, what's going on with Antony? Antony really wants United. Antony's desperate to play for United, link up with Tenor again, but he understands because Ajax have got rid of Haller, Gravenberch, Mazuari. I mean, I can't even pronounce it. Basically, Ajax have already got rid of 4 players. They're going to get rid of Martinez, which is 5. Ajax do not need to sell. They don't need the money. They've already made enough money. You know, they've lost so many players. As much as Antony wants to go, he understands and respects that it's difficult because Ajax have no need to get rid of him. It's difficult to do because Ajax are now going to overprice him because they don't need to get rid of him. It's also been said a potential move for Antony to Man United is stagnant. United tried to advance in a €60 million agreement but faced resistance from Ajax, who request close to €80 million. Antony's agent, Junior, will try and convince them to accept United's offer. So again, it came out that United have made a £50 million, €60 million offer for Antony, which is about £18 million short, which I think 50 million for Antony, fucking hell, like, I think that's good business for Ajax. I don't think Antony's worth £50 million. He's had one good season in the Eredivisie. It's the Eredivisie. You know, we've got Depay for £25 million. You know, Antony for 50 million, I think they should fucking take it, you know, because you know, why ask for 70 million? But they know they can do that. But obviously United made a £50 million bid for Antony. Ajax are not responding to that bid. It's also said that Antony and his staff want negotiations to Man United to have a positive outcome and the player dreams of playing for United. But it's also been said that Man United did make a £51 million bid for Antony, but it's still short of Ajax's price tag. So with Antony to Manchester United, I think, I'm not going to lie, this is going to drag on. I think this is going to drag on. It's going to be a difficult deal. I think it would have been, I think even 2 months ago, I do think it would have been a difficult deal. I disagree with that just because I think it's hard for Ajax to find a replacement. But I do agree, if United had made a move for Timber and Antony in May, in June, right at the beginning of the transfer window and got it done before Ajax sold their other players, we probably would have got Timber and Antony for a combined 80 million. So you make a solid point. Antony to United. Antony wants to move. Antony wants to come to Manchester United. That is the situation. United have made a bid for Antony, but I'm going to be honest with you. This Antony saga is going to drag on. Antony's injured. He won't be coming on pre-season tour. United will take the Antony saga into August. United will try and take the Antony saga into August, and they will not budge over much over £50 million for Antony, but they're going to keep this on. They're going to hope Antony pushes. If United take this Antony saga into August, offer maybe £55 million and get Antony to push, I think that Ajax could budge and we could get Antony in August. But I don't think any serious updates is going to happen with Antony till August. I know United are putting all their eggs in the Lisandro Martinez and De Jong basket right now. We obviously made a £38 million bid for Lisandro Martinez that Ajax rejected. And Ajax are playing around with us because Ajax don't need to sell. Ajax are trying to get as much money for their players as possible and do some good business. Ajax also know Arsenal are interested in Lisandro Martinez, and with Thomas Partey reportedly not going back to Arsenal, they might want him even more just so we can fill in that DM role, even if they can't play him at centre-back as well. So, Man United and Arsenal, Ajax are trying to get us in a bidding war for Martinez, and whoever pays most for Martinez will probably get Martinez. Martinez does prefer United, but again, if Arsenal are willing to pay more, they get him, because Ajax have sold so many players that they thought this doesn't matter. So while United have made a bid for Antony, it's about Antony pushing for the move, and let's see what happens with Ajax. But I don't think that deal will happen until August. I know United are all in for Martinez, and I do expect that deal to be wrapped up in the coming days. I really do. But also, it's been said by Di Marzio that United are also in contact with Paulo Dybala. So there's Dybala, there's Antony, and obviously we're working on the Lisandro Martinez deal. Right now, United's focus is on Lisandro Martinez, and obviously Romano has said that United do have the edge over Arsenal for Martinez, but at the end of the day, it's going to come down to who bids the most. But the player that United have been working for a while, and the news I want to get into is De Jong. But first of all, none of those signings are as good as Jesus. For us, Saka, Martinelli, and Jesus how will the fridge cope? Ronaldo leaves us mid-table. At the end of the day, Zane, I think that Saka is a good player. I think Martinelli is a good player, and I think Jesus is a good signing. But at the end of the day, if Man United sort out our midfield, we will be fine. If we get De Jong and we've got ERIKSEN and we get a DM, I generally think we'll be able to cope, because I think our midfield is what cost us. Basically, our season revolves around us getting our new midfield sorted. And if Rashford and Martial and Sancho all find form, then, I think our front three is better. I rate Saka, I rate Martinelli, I rate Jesus. They've been better than Saka, Sancho, and Martial for the last year or two. But if our front three find form, let's not underestimate them. But it is a big if. Will our front three find form as well? Martinez is asked, saying Martinez will come to United unless Arsenal bid more. Big up, saying for the super chat, but I tell you this: Martinez will pick United over Arsenal. And if Martinez goes to Arsenal, I will do a big rant video and I will praise Arsenal for getting a brilliant player, and there will be a big me annoyed rant video. But I think we will get Martinez, and I am confident for that as well. Barcelona say De Jong's going nowhere. They said that about Messi. They say that about all their players. That is Barcelona mind games. I tell you that now. Barcelona mind games. They play a lot of mind games. I'm still confident on De Jong. Look, De Jong deal is pissing me off. De Jong deal is muggy. United are getting played, but I'm still confident the De Jong deal will happen. Look, basically, Fabrizio Romano said it's very unlikely De Jong will reduce his salary at Barcelona. It was also said from Spain that Barcelona are not happy with Frenkie de Jong and his agent Ali Dursun. The club has been trying to sit down and talk to him for a few days, but he's been absent. Two options on the table: sell De Jong or take a salary reduction. So basically, it seems that Barcelona are actually getting annoyed at De Jong because De Jong's sort of dodging the situation. It's also been said that Frenkie de Jong speaks to Erik ten Hag daily, and Giro Romero is a very good journalist. And if Frenkie de Jong has been in daily contact with Erik ten Hag, then that means he's okay to come, and he's going to come. So again, that's an interesting one. David Ornstein has said that United have had positive talks with Barcelona over De Jong, and Simon Stone confirmed an outline for a deal between United and Barcelona's Frenkie de Jong is in place. So basically, it's come out today. De Jong talk's still positive. Barcelona still want to get rid of De Jong, and it's still on. So despite the Barcelona's president's comments, when you got Ornstein and Romano saying the deal's still on, it's on. Because when the deal falls through, look, if we don't get Frenkie de Jong, it will all come out in one day. If the deal falls through, you get Ornstein and Romano all saying the deal's fallen through. But it hasn't fallen through. It's still on. It's still ongoing. And reliable journalists are saying there's still an expectation that Frenkie de Jong will end up at United. Simon Stone said that de Jong's salary was reduced to $3 million in 2021 and 6 million was reduced to $3 million in 2021 and $6 million last season. From next season, he is due to earn $18 million for the 3 years and $19 million for the final years. If he was to leave to Manchester United, he would want compensation for the money he should have earned but hasn't. So basically, there's a situation with De Jong where one of the reasons De Jong might be reluctant to sign for United is because he wants to make sure that Barcelona give him the compensation, because they've paid him $18 million short in the last 3 years of salary. And because of Barcelona's financial issues, they're not giving De Jong the money he has. And maybe that's why De Jong's annoyed and he wants to sort that with Barcelona before he leaves. And he doesn't get mugged off. I don't know. Remember, United still got to talk with De Jong himself. We've still got to talk with De Jong himself. And I know we haven't agreed personal terms with De Jong, but I do think we'll get that sorted because I think De Jong knows he's got to leave Barcelona, and the deal is dragging out. But I still think we'll get De Jong, and I'm still positive on that as well. We'll get Antony for 58 million. I think that's paying at least 10 million too much, but you know, it is what it is. Seems like our club chase a difficult deal every summer. Sometimes they can point out to why other people's proper business is not being done. It's annoying. United seem to make everything difficult. We seem to make everything difficult for ourselves. A DM is very uncertain. Yeah, look, I need Martinez. I don't think we're going to get DM. So this is why I'm so keen on United getting Martinez. Thank you very much for the super sticker CD. It's really appreciated. But one of the reasons I really hope that United get this Martinez deal sorted is because at least he can play in midfield. You know, if worse comes to worse, at least we know he can do a job there, and we've got a player that can do that match role. Because if Martinez, Eriksen, and De Jong replace Matic and Pogba, that is good business, you know, and that fair play to Murta, fair play to that. I mean, we've got 12 million for Pereira. We managed to get 30 million for Dan James. You know, United aren't doing too bad on the business front. I will give Murta and some people at United that. We ain't doing that bad on the business front. I will say that. Guys, please do subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. It costs nothing to subscribe. It's completely free. And I go live every single evening on the channel. So if you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfers and more, do subscribe. I also do conversations with you guys, read out live chats. Apologise that I haven't got into too many live chats today, but also news, updates. I will be doing watch-alongs to the pre-season games and match reactions as well. It's been said that, you know, United sources maintain that Frenkie de Jong is not being... The Frenkie de Jong not being for sale talk by Barcelona is just the stance, and United are still positive they can get Frenkie de Jong, despite reports has come out as well. Honestly, I still think we'll get de Jong. I think Antony will drag on till August, and I do think we'll get Martinez. Now, it's a shame that we're going on pre-season in 2 days, and we'll probably only bring MALACIA and potentially ERIKSEN with us, and we've only had a net spend of £2 million, plus the 11 million in dividends to the Glazers. But that is our club, and that is how we run, and it's very, very frustrating. But I will take the done deal Pereira, all the money we get for Pereira, 12 million. I will take MALACIA, and I will take ERIKSEN. I'm happy with what's been done so far, and we can get Martinez and de Jong in the next week. That's a positive. But at the end of the day, the transfer business by United it's not been bad, but it's been slow. And at the end of the day, if someone said to me, we do it fast and we get the wrong players in, I'd probably say I'd rather us do it slow. But I'm frustrated with it being so slow because every other club can seem to do this business a lot faster. Every other club can seem to get deals and stuff sorted a lot faster than us. And also, Erik ten Hag wanted his business done by now and he didn't get it done by now, which is, I think, is frustrating. Saying thank you for the super chat. Antony should join the Brazilian Revolution at Arsenal. He, Martinelli, Jesus, and the Samba trio. All you have is Rashford up front. We've got Martial. Look, I'll be fuming if Antony went to Arsenal. I would. But at the end of the day, you can want Antony at Arsenal, but you've got Saka, you've got Jesus, you've got Martinelli as a front three. I don't think Arsenal need to spend 60-odd million on Antony. You know, I think Arsenal shouldn't spend more than 40 million on another attacker because they've kind of got their front three sorted. But look, Antony will go to United because we got ten Hag. While, you know, Arsenal would like Martinez and while Antony would be good for Arsenal, we've got ten Hag. And that just gives us the edge on a few players as well. You know, I know we've been rejected by Nunes, but I didn't want Nunes. But look, Antony and Martinez is in our hands. It's just, are we going to overpay for them as well? But look, guys, big up Same for the super chat and the support. I will be live again tomorrow night. There might be a video out tomorrow morning, but I am going to wrap up today's live stream. But big up everybody for tuning in. Subscribe if you're new. Share the video if you have not already. I will be live tomorrow night. Add that post notification bell. Like, subscribe. Thanks everybody in the chat. Sorry I didn't read out that many live chats. Just so much to talk about. And I did go on a bit of a rant and a bit of a tangent. But cheers, everybody. See you next time.